And welcome back to the Stanley Parable. EA for clearing. But yeah, last time we basically just started the game, got a whole bunch of the endings. Oh. Why the crap did that happen? Whatever. Got a whole bunch of endings, and yeah, this time we're basically just gonna go ahead and finish up the game. Oh boy, we're off to the same wonderful start as last stream, I see. Come on, game. You can do it. I mean, I know it's going to load eventually, snap out of this whole not responding crap, but still, it's like, come on. Do we really have to sit through this? You know what I mean? Now see, if I was smart and had remembered that this happened last time, then I would have just gone ahead and hit start game, begin the game before going live. But no. This is what we get. Okay, this is seriously taking like an obscene amount of time. I almost just want to close the game and try again. Oh, nope, there we go. I just had to be patient. God, why the hell does this game do this?
This is the story of a...
Saw this. Okay, so there's still like 3 or 4 different things that I want to show off in this game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
All of them involve going through the left door. Since we basically did the entirety of the right door last time.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Already did the broom closet, so no reason to do that.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Come on. Did I do it? No. No, I did not. Damn it. See, you're supposed to walk into the office and then go back in the door before it closes. But, whatever. Also, I seem to remember being able to go in here, but, it would appear I cannot.
Stepping in.
Oh. There we go. Okay. Still can't go in there, even though there's clearly something behind the door. but whatever. Let's just go ahead and do this one. Also, I'm pretty sure the door was on the other end of the opening there, but whatever. Alright, so yeah, basically you just go all the way back to the start of the game. Since for some reason all the other doors opened. Yeah, I like how the right door is actually closed. Alright, and now we notice that this door is open. Just kind of leading into nothingness. You are now leaving. And I'm going the wrong way. Escape pod bay, floor 760. We're apparently on 754. Come on, you couldn't have started us on like 757 or something. God, I can't see shit. Okay, that seems to help. So let's go ahead and do that again. Okay, we're finally on 759, so just one more floor and... Oh, right, this way. Yep, escape pod launch bay. Oh, hi. Why is there just a white line on the bottom? And now it's gone. And that was everything, apparently. Okay. That was a bit weird. Well, that's alright, Nova. Don't worry about it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah,
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
we're just kind of doing some of the more, I hesitate to use the word.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah, I hesitate to use the word boring, but we're going after some of the more plain endings here. And I still want to get behind this door, because there's stuff there. And I'm pretty sure I've gone in there before, but no.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That
Yay.
kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
I wonder if this is going to get flagged for copyright.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Because in the very first video, the very first part I have of this on YouTube, it got flagged for copyright because of some song. I mean, it's not like it got taken down, it just, thankfully, but whatever, doesn't really matter. It was just explaining why I said what I said.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Remember that bit up there? We're in the same room.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay, 427. I found it. Not that really matters, but...
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yes.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Or we could just hit on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is.
The narrator's a
More
dick.
time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room.
I'm just standing
These
still.
numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Well then. And suddenly there's papers everywhere.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Anyway,
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
there's one thing I forgot to do with the right door, so let's go take care of that right now.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
And bye-bye.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, so I think all that really remains is the, What? What is this? Wait, the guide did mention something about a blue office. So, let me go back for a minute. Was it this one?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Maybe the whole office has to be blue.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Anyway, so this time we're going to turn the machine off.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find it. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
No, I was not on 2. There we go. Oh. I didn't even need to do that. Good.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
And so yeah, unfortunately there's...
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
No real way to skip this as far as I know, so we have to sit through it again, unfortunately, but it shouldn't take that long.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Alright, so, that's basically everything. The reason I keep on restarting the game is because I read something about, like, when the office turns blue, you can get a bonus scene or something, so I'm just gonna try it for a few minutes, see if I can, actually get it or not. And that was why I was interested in the bit of blue hallway there before. So, yeah, I'll, Oh, here we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Now, I think it's one of these two doors. Yep. Yay. The whiteboard ending. No dialogue, though. I am disappointed. But, yeah, I think that's basically everything I want to show with the Stanley Parable. Let's just go ahead and go to the two doors, just to see what this place looks like. Oh, they're just right here. Okay, then. So yeah, that's the Stanley Parable. And since I'm done much sooner than I thought I would be, give me just a few minutes, and I will come back with some... what do I want to play? I think I'll give Neptune another shot. So, yeah. Stay right there. I will be back in just a couple minutes with Neptune. Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1.